Meet the Irwins. Janice.
Oh, I'm in heaven.
Weininger. Tiana.
Do people actually eat this?
Breanne.
I thought you said rat.
Shalassa and Romain. They're going back in time through 50 years of black British history. Starting in 1948, they'll discover how post-war Caribbean immigration changed the way we all live. From leisure to work.
Any more fares, please? Any more fares, please?
Music to sport. And how it all started in one London suburb.
Look at this room. I'm gonna die.
Last time, the Irwins found out about the hard work and achievements of the Windrush generation.
Any more fares, please? Double six, seat there.
3, 2, 1.
As they lived through the 1950s and 60s.
I had one of these literally sitting on my bed.
Now, in 1970, the Irwins are moving into a new era.
People moving out, people moving in. Why? Because of the colour of their skin. Run, 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 but you sure can't hide.
It's 22 years since the Windrush docked and mass immigration from the Caribbean began. But the mood is changing. An infamous speech by Conservative MP Enoch Powell marked a turning point.
In 15 or 20 years' time, the black man will have the whip hand over the white man.
And by 1971, a new Immigration Act would sever all automatic rights for Commonwealth citizens to settle in the UK. But there was already a sizable black British community, and as antagonism towards them rose, racism was freely voiced.
There never has been, and there never will be, a coloured Englishman.
In Brixton, there was a new generation of black Britons, born in the UK, who would have to find their way through these tumultuous years. I'm back in Brixton with social historian Emma Dabiri to see the Irwins' new house and find out what changes this decade will bring to the family. Woohoo, look at this. It's a house this time.
Yeah, so they've certainly upgraded, lots more space.
Whole different proposition. And there seem to be sort of plastic runners on the floor.
And that's very typical of the Caribbean home, that's to preserve the carpet. Everything has to look really top-notch, spick and span. That's really crucial. This isn't the space to just chill. This is very much in the tradition of the Caribbean front room, which takes its cue from the Victorian parlour room.
Except for vast amounts of booze.
Yeah, we've got the pineapple that we recognise from the previous flat, the ice bucket, yeah.
Glad the pineapple's gone with it, but this is new.
Yes, this is in fact a radiogram, and we can see that despite the name, which suggests that a radio is the central function, it's actually all about this record player. So home entertainment's greatly improved.
The Irwins haven't just got new mod cons, they're now homeowners. In the 1970s, councils were building thousands of new homes. But many black families found it hard to get on the housing lists. So the alternative was to buy. And the 1971 census reflects this. OK, so private households, persons and rooms by tenure, what does this tell us?
So this tells us a lot about the figures for home ownership in the different London boroughs.
So what about Lambeth, which is where we are?
If you compare Lambeth to Islington, but that is a far more traditionally white working class area, we see 20% has privately owned accommodation, whereas in Islington it's only 13%. So we see there's quite a stark difference between Lambeth and Islington.
So in a black borough there is a higher level of home ownership than a white borough. Why would that be?
We can't so starkly kind of define them as black boroughs and white boroughs, but we know that for black people at the time they're still quite challenging to access council housing. That kind of leads to this push in private home ownership.
So in some ways this shows the difficulty for black people in getting into a council house because they had to buy.
Yeah, but then it shows as well that they're not relying on council houses. They're actually using their own initiatives, working often multiple jobs, incredibly long hours, and they're actually buying their own homes.
And to buy their houses, enterprising Caribbean families clubbed together using a savings scheme brought to Britain by the Windrush generation. Partners, patois for partner, are an informal savings system where a group of people pool their money and each get access to the pot. Partners meant families like the Irwins could get a deposit for a house much quicker than if they'd saved on their own. And in 1970, houses in Brixton were selling for less than £5,000. It's time for the family to step into the 70s and discover their new home. Both Weininger and Janice were born in the 60s, so this is the decade of their own childhoods.
Oh, wow.
Whoa.
Oh, my God. Look at the plastic on the floor. This is what we had.
Is that the drinks tray?
Yeah, the drinks tray. We've got a nice dining area.
Oh, this is nice.
This is a social area because we've got our seating and we've got a lovely sofa. Weininger, did you have a cushion like this?
Oh, look here, look here.
Look at this.
Look at the Hoover.
Lovely fridge.
Oh, yes, yes. Get in.
Chocolate fingers?
Yes.
This is still somewhere in our household. Just move on up.
Emma and I are bringing the family something to put the finishing touches on their new home.
Hi, guys.
Hi, family. Good, looking good, the hair.
Brilliant.
How are you, sir?
All right, I'm very good. How are you? Hi, kids. Everything good? So, you own your own home now, and what a beautiful home it is. You're moving onwards and upwards. You're now going to be driving the bus, not conducting, so you'll have more money coming in, some more status. You're going to be a matron now, so that's promotion as well. Tiana, you're going to be mucking in and helping out. You three are still at school.
You're the second generation, so you've got a different relationship to the country than your parents might have. But despite that, that doesn't still stop the occasional shouts of go home when you go out on the street.
It being the 1970s, you're not satisfied with that, home improvements. I've brought you a little something, some exciting wallpaper to remind you of the Caribbean, which I'm hoping you're going to hang.
OK.
That should be interesting.
And from the looks of things, you might think you have enough doilies, but you can always squeeze in a few more. So this is for you and the girls.
Oh,
there's instructions
lovely.
on what to do with them.
Did you briefly thought that was dinner, didn't you?
I did, yeah.
Yeah. Home ownership was to boom in the 70s, and so was the nation's love of DIY. By the end of the decade, Britain was buying over 21 million gallons of paint and hanging over 600,000 miles of wallpaper. And Black Britons were no exception. Weininger and the boys get started, bringing a bit of the Caribbean to their Brixton home.
Oh, wow. Oh, my days.
Meanwhile, Janice and the girls get to grips with their task, something vital for every house-proud West Indian mother: starched doilies.
Having frills all around your house, I remember, was a big thing. And at the time as children, we thought it was nice.
Don't touch them, you'll get sticky.
So we'll start from there. Gosh.
I think me and Breanne's doilies will probably be better than whatever they do there, because my dad's not really a DIY person, so yeah.
Well, I think because I'm part of the project, it will just be great.
Yeah, all right.
Romain, come with the paste for me, please. Well done, son. This is a work of art, man. Your mum's gonna want me to do it at home.
How's it going, boys?
Nearly there.
It's looking good. Reminds me of the West Indies.
Pull it over. Wicked. Touch me.
Unfortunately for the girls, the doilies are a flop.
I think the boys actually have done better than we have.
Janice, come and take a look at what we've done.
Let's have a look. Oh, wow.
Wow.
Gives us a nice warm feeling.
Yeah.
Are you impressed that your dad could do
Yeah,
this?
I am.
Dad.
Oh,
Your dad. No, that your dad, you know what I mean?
Irwin and son.
Yeah, a bit shaky in the
bit
middle.
shaky in the
Well,
middle.
that's the bit that Shalasta put up, isn't it?
What?
Give me just a little more time.
So it's the 1970s, and yes, this is all my hair. No wig, natural hair going. This is just so crazy for me. Like, this just feels like an out-of-body experience, like wearing this with the cuffs.
Mixed feelings about the next decades we're going through, but also joyful ones.
Another day means another year in Brixton, and it's 1972. For Weininger and Janice, both working full-time, tonight's a rare chance to go out together.
Okay, bye, guys.
Bye.
Take care. All right.
They're off to see The Harder They Come, a Jamaican film which had its UK debut in Brixton. It made a star of singer Jimmy Cliff with a soundtrack that brought reggae to the world. But to begin with, the film struggled to find a UK distributor, and so the director promoted it himself. He stood outside Brixton Tube Station handing out flyers. Once word got round, it played to packed houses for over a month. Weininger and Janice are seeing the film at the same cinema where it was first shown in 1972.
Wow. Best thing. Perry Hensel.
Are you going to read it all the way through?
No, but...
You'll succeed at last.
With her parents out, Tiana's in charge of dinner. Luckily for her, the 70s saw a boom in convenience food.
Children my age probably would have had to take care of their siblings, just make sure the house is in working order while their parents had gone out. You can't just let everything go up in the air as soon as they want to do something else. Right, here you are. No, it's all right, I don't want any.
I'm not hungry.
Yeah, it's fine, here. Do people actually eat this?
Is that cheese?
Well, maybe, but, like, maybe they didn't. Maybe that's why Mummy was so skinny when she was younger.
Shaz, can you get me that paper, please?
What's on now, then?
Right now it says Love Thy Neighbour, new comedy series about the ups and downs of two couples.
That sounds good.
Send out one bad man.
Meanwhile, at the Ritzy, the film has reached its dramatic climax.
I love the movie. I just saw things in there that I haven't seen before.
And I've never seen him not sleep during the films. That is amazing.
Love thy neighbour.
Love Thy Neighbour was one of ITV's top-rated shows, with around 9 million tuning in each week. It was the first British sitcom with a black lead, but that's its only similarity to The Harder They Come.
Look, they don't really want us here, man.
Yes, we do.
No, we don't.
Eddie both.
I'm doing what you said. I'm agreeing with Bill. I don't blame you, you know. You've been conditioned by your society.
Yeah. Just a minute. What's wrong with our society?
It supports discrimination against black people.
No more than you do against us whites.
Well, have you ever seen a black MP?
No, but I've never seen a white witch doctor either.
I just didn't find it funny. I didn't see what... Shalaz, I know you found it funny. But
No, it just looked ridiculous because... I found it funny because it looked ridiculous, so that's what I found funny.
Well, that's probably what people found funny back then as well. They just thought it was stupid, but I just don't think...
But it's harmful. It displays really negative stereotypes of black people, and then what they said about the discrimination thing, although people are laughing about, you know, there's no black MP, but there's black witch doctors and stuff, like, they're turning it into comedy.
My life, my life, my life, my life in the sunshine.
It's 1976, and the family are packing a picnic. The girls are preparing a traditional Jamaican snack, sweet bun and cheese.
What, you just putting that in a sandwich for you?
Everybody loves the sunshine.
The summer of '76 was famous for a 10-week-long heatwave, when Britons basked in temperatures more often seen in the Caribbean than Brixton.
Folks get down in the sunshine.
Taking advantage of the weather, the family have gone to the park.
Folks get brown in the sunshine.
Along with bun and cheese, they're trying a brand new drink. Lilt, with its Caribbean flavours and reggae-infused jingle, was actually made in Britain for the UK market, a sure sign that West Indian culture was becoming mainstream. But at the same time, the political mood was souring. In local elections in Leicester that year, the National Front, a far-right, whites-only political party, won almost 20% of the vote.
We do not want to see specifically the city of Leicester and generally the country as a whole, turned into some sort of mongrelized, multiracial community. We violently oppose this.
Against this backdrop, the West Indies cricket team arrived in England for what would become a legendary Test series. The England team was captained by a white South African, Tony Greig. The West Indian team, who would go on to win the series, was led by Clive Lloyd, who's come to meet the family today.
How are you keeping?
Nice to meet you.
An absolute pleasure, sir.
Clive's here to tell them all about the tour and the incredible impact it had.
We were probably one of the best teams in the world at that time. Tony Greig didn't think so. So he said, you'll make us grovel. It was quite demeaning.
Right.
And here is a white South African during apartheid time telling black guys that he'll make them grovel. That sort of gave us the impetus that we needed.
Right.
And we did extremely well. We won 3-0 and West Indies cricket just grew and grew from there.
I remember everybody glued around the television watching that game. I remember my neighbours, because I was in a white area, they used to be saying, why are you cheering on West Indies? You were born here. I said, I'm West Indian.
The English were always quite staid and they were sort of clapped.
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
We were very vociferous and enthusiastic, and we made cricket a spectacle.
You know what you think of the West Indies team this year?
Oh, we can murder them. We got them. We can murder them. The only time we could give an answer to that.
The West Indians who were there then felt, this glue that brought us together, because if you came from Barbados or Trinidad again, when you came to England, you knitted as one. You felt that you were part of this great team that we had. Sport brought a lot of things out into the open. And people started to respect us a little bit more. When you went to work, when you went to school, you walked with an air, your chest in the air, and you're just as good as that guy next door.
Since Clive is here with the family, it would be rude not to play a bit of cricket.
It's right on target.
I can't bend in these pants.
So we met Clive Lloyd, captain of the West Indian team in 1976, which was, it was amazing during that time with everything that was going on. For West Indians to see and other West Indians winning a game generally dominated by English people would have just been, I think, just so uplifting.
It's 1977, the year of the Queen's Silver Jubilee. While their parents go out shopping for the celebrations, Emma has sent the kids something to help them understand the mood of the 1970s.
Wait. Hi, guys. The first generation of British-born Caribbean kids were a lot more militant than their parents. They fought back against racism, sometimes literally. That would be you. I'm sending you some outfits to get into the mood of the times. Emma. Oh, Shalasa! Oi. Look at these boots.
This trackie's amazing.
The style of the Black Panthers and Rastafarians were familiar sights on the streets of Britain. These two radical movements were being taken up enthusiastically by young black Britons. They gave an identity to a generation born in the UK that wasn't prepared to quietly put up with discrimination.
Our peers were told that we would be given equal chances to work with white and do the jobs that white were doing. And what are we doing now?
I don't feel in any way sort of attached to this country. This is just somewhere where I live.
I've got to stay here because this is the system. This is where everything happens. This is the root of the tree. And if you can break this root, you can fall the tree.
On the 13th of August 1977, the National Front held one of its biggest rallies. Up to 1,000 members provocatively marched across South London, but over 4,000 marched against them.
You look like the poster boys for Jamaica. Let me see.
Yeah, but
I want one of these. It's colourful to say, like, this is who I am. And then in terms of me and Breanne, I would say it's more uniform to show sort of solidarity.
What's that big smile on your face?
Because I got the beer and the thing, innit?
Hi, Mum.
Hi, Mum.
Oh!
People would walk down the street like this, like, yeah, you know.
No, you would walk down the street.
No, but I'm telling you, when I see you like that, yeah, for me, it brings back memories. Because I know for myself, going to school, chased by the National Front. So we needed that kind of, I don't know, that armour.
We've grown up in an area that was more white, and we were trying to find where do we fit. We're born here, but it's a West Indian feel. If people got a problem with us, it's their problem, don't make it ours. Stand firm. So, yeah, this is very good. But it's still the Queen's Jubilee, and we've still got a barbecue to put on. So, let's go out there and show some black British pride.
In June 1977, Britain came together to celebrate the Jubilee. The Queen toured the country and even made a special visit to Brixton. The Irwins have invited friends and family over to enjoy a Caribbean-style barbecue.
Wait, is this not? Well, mate, no one's had it yet.
Eat up, be merry. It's all about the Jubilee right now.
Oh, do you remember the Jubilee party, wasn't it? Sandwiches, crisp, nuts.
Back in 1977, Janice went to a Jubilee party in her all-white neighbourhood.
It was like a feast for us, and we couldn't wait to go, and everyone dressed up. We were a very, very, very small minority in our street, so we were just happy to be there and joining in the celebrations.
Guys, I've got ice cream and some chocolate bakes and Coke for Coke floats if you want.
Oh, Coke floats! Lovely. Lovely.
I like the Jubilee party. I like the clothes that I got, like you say, roots, rock, and reggae.
It's 1979 and the family have settled into their 70s lives.
Tarzan, Monkey Man, swinging from a rubber band, fell down, broke his arm, what colour was his blood?
I got it, guys, because I'm the only one that will do anything themselves.
Emma and I have sent the Irwin kids something to get them into the latest groove.
We've sent you some home recording equipment, so like every young person in the 70s, you can make your very own compilation tapes. They weren't called mixtapes then. Have fun, Emma and Giles.
Oi.
What is... Oh, is it a stereo?
It's a radio cassette recorder.
Oh, cassette!
You're an idiot. This is why we don't let you read.
Oh, I've got some records.
Boom, yeah.
A microphone.
Yeah.
Stickers.
As a new generation of Black Britons came of age, they began to create their own music. And the late 70s saw lovers rock hit the airwaves. It was a distinctly British style of reggae, melodic and romantic. It was soon storming the UK charts.
Try it the other way. This way?
No, that's not going to work. That's the wrong way.
Oh, done it. Shall I just press record then?
Yeah.
Right. Well, that's not it.
You lot are all idiots.
What? Oh. It's not turning.
Yeah, the problem is, if the counter's moving, that means that it's turning. Basically.
The counter's not moving either.
So...
I don't know how to do this
Breanne, you're supposed
at all.
to use this.
Shall we call Mummy?
Mum, none of us know how to get it to record.
Oh, you've got it in the wrong way, so take it off.
Shh.
song I told you we should do, huh?
Oh, the counter's moving as well. Shh.
Rewind.
Mm.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, so you got to go all the way back.
You want to play it?
Mm-hmm. You can't hear it properly. It's got like, yeah, it sounds like it's underwater. It's just so time-consuming. Yeah, it's long. You would never have to do anything like this today.
And you just shuffle your music.
Yeah. None of this.
You don't
having
have to rewind.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because that's all long.
Doesn't that silly games one? Doesn't it remind you of just being like on the chair, like tired?
Yeah,
and then all your parents are dancing,
like
you're with
still
your cousins.
dancing. Yeah, Mum, I'm tired.
Yeah.
No, just this one second.
Quite funny to see how us kids that are meant to be like the technology era kids couldn't even do something that most adults would see as just so simple.
It's 1980. There are now large Caribbean communities throughout the UK. It's the dawning of a decade that would be defined by divisions. There was prosperity for some, but much of Black Britain would find itself left behind.
But right now, I can't find myself having a prospect, man.
You walk in and they say to you, oh, the vacancy's been filled, apply later.
The Irwins, with their own home and steady jobs, are among the lucky ones. And they're back to discover the changes the new decade has brought to their house.
Oh, the couch has changed.
Yeah, the couch changed.
Oh, my
Look at the leather couch.
Leather chair.
And the hi-fi.
Colour TV.
Colour TV.
Oh my gosh, it's toasty. Yes!
A posh toaster. Ooh. We have a note here. Let's have a look. Addressed to
the Irwins.
OK. Welcome to 1980. I hope you are enjoying your revamped house. Janice and Weininger, you are still working, but hospital closures and transport deregulation are around the corner, and life feels less secure. Among young people, unemployment is increasing, and for young Black people, it's even worse. Tiana and Breanne, you are both looking for a job. Romaine and Shalasa, you're still at school, but you'd better knuckle down because it's a bad world out there.
I went to the States in the 80s because the UK wasn't looking too pretty for me as a Black teenager. My father was living in the States and things just seemed to be so much better in the States.
I realised it was difficult to get work because I had been turned away. I can only say it was because of the colour of my skin because he didn't ask me a question. So when I got the opportunity to do a National Computing Centre course that was basically getting paid to learn, I just grabbed it with both hands. From there, it put me in a position where I was able to live life as I wanted to. My life was playing sport, working and partying. So 80s was just a brilliant decade for me.
To go with their new look home, they've also got a car. Perfect for Janice and the girls who are picking up dinner.
OK, we're going to have KFC today.
In the 80s, Britain fell in love with American fast food, and thousands of US-style takeaways opened across the country.
Fast food is big business in Britain. The estimated annual turnover of the thousands of takeaways in our high streets, £900 million.
For me, it's great because I feel like I've spent 3 decades in the kitchen.
Yeah.
And now there's all this convenient food about, and we've got a car. It makes it a lot easier for me to just get in the car. And we used to do fried chicken, and it tastes close enough to our fried chicken for us to want to eat it.
Hi, guys.
Hey.
Dinner. Look what we got. Boys, wake up. We got KFC.
Okay. The breast, I'm super happy.
There's the beans. One, do you want to turn the telly on?
And to go with their fast food, the family have got some very 1980s entertainment.
Have you ever heard of a PP?
In 1980, black people were something of a rarity on British television, so it was worth concentrating in case you missed the moment.
PPP coming on, all right? And what we want you to do...
Oh, Shane.
That wasn't supposed to happen.
I've got to tell you what he just said. Do you know what he just said? He said, my job is making artificial legs. I can't wait to watch his face. Show him.
Oh, right.
That's good.
Yeah, that was good.
That's good.
It made it look like the props were falling to bits, but they weren't.
The chicken's nice.
Dinner over, Weininger and the boys have gone to the park for a kickabout. And I'm here to give them a run for their money in the greatest colours of all, Queen's Park Rangers.
Hey, how you doing, Giles? How's it going?
All right, very well. Hello,
right,
boys. Well, I'm very excited to see you in the 1980s. Nice shorts, though. Do you feel good in those?
No.
And something terrible's happened to your shirt. What's that? Until the late 70s, football was an almost entirely white affair. But by 1980, the nation's pitches were starting to feature a few brave black players who had to endure racism not only from the terraces, but also from management.
Most football managers come out with the bland words that players, if they're black, have no bottom, which is their word for saying that they lack courage. I don't believe that you can say that black boxers lack courage because they're dominating the world. So how you can say that suddenly a new breed of people, because they play with their feet instead of using their fists, are any different? It's incomprehensible to me.
I went to the FA Cup final replay in 1982 between Queen's Park Rangers and Spurs, and I've still got the programme randomly.
Wow.
And it's the first ever FA Cup final programme with a black player on the front. In fact, it's got two. It's got the great Bob Hazel, QPR centre-half of the old school, and Chris Hughton of Spurs.
Before the 80s, my sort of recollection was just like Georgie Best and things like that. So when players like John and Justin Fashion who came on the scene, I was more than happy that we had some sort of representation.
And did you latch onto them? I mean, and them and Cyril Regis and Brendan Batts and those guys. Did you sort of latch onto them more?
Well, because you would watch more. For me, it just made the game a little bit more special, and it made me feel more included watching the football.
They faced all sorts of difficulties getting into the game, and then abuse from fans in the 70s and in the early 80s. Would you have been aware of that? I don't think I was aware of it from watching on telly.
No, because you probably wouldn't have caught any of that. But I'm sure if you spoke to any of them, they could tell you stories that would just be shockers. So for the fact that they had to play and also put up with that kind of abuse, that's only testament to the character of players of that time.
Just look. Look at your shoe.
Last man.
It's 1981.
Just before 6 o'clock this morning, the singing and dancing gave way to panic as flames shot through the upper floors and screaming teenagers began to leap from the windows.
In the early hours of Sunday, the 18th of January, a fire broke out at a house party in New Cross, a few miles from Brixton. 13 young people died, all of them black. Against a backdrop of 31 documented racist murders in the previous 5 years, the black community assumed that the fire was another racist attack. To draw attention to the deaths and the perceived indifference of the authorities, a demonstration was organised on the 2nd of March 1981. 20,000 people gathered in New Cross to march on Parliament.
For the first time in the history of the black community here in Britain, blacks from all over the country were meeting to march in protest through the capital.
We are going first to the House of Commons,
we shall be meeting a delegation there to hand a letter to the Speaker of the House, expressing the same kind of dissatisfaction we've been expressing over the last few weeks.
The demonstration was peaceful until halfway, when it was split by the police, creating confusion.
The pace of the march accelerated across Blackfriars Bridge. The police were beginning to lose control.
Black Day at Blackfriars. Riots and looting as marchers run wild.
Look at the headings, right? If you didn't read anything, militants in control, running battles, angry chants. Everything is to make it look like they're just an aggressive, out-of-order mob.
I remember the Deptford fire. It could have been any one of that. It could have been me. Could have been Janice.
Even just reading that now, I kind of feel that anger again, because it was like our lives did not matter. And this was in 1981.
2 inquests into the fire returned open verdicts, and the case remains unsolved to this day. But it left the atmosphere in Brixton volatile. When the police enacted a 19th century law giving them the right to stop and search anyone they thought suspicious, tensions reached boiling point. In just 5 days in Brixton, 943 people were stopped and searched. The majority of them were black. On the 11th of April 1981, Brixton exploded into violence.
There is official bewilderment as to how a riot on this scale occurred. For nearly 6 hours last night, police struggled to retain control of Brixton's decaying streets. Their antagonists were 500 or 600, mainly black teenagers, whose fury, it appears, was aimed primarily at authority, but in the end was vented on the buildings of their own community. It was one of the worst riots seen in Britain.
That night, many families stayed inside, waiting for the violence to stop. The Irwins have left their Brixton home to meet Emma and find out more about the riots.
OK, so the reason that I've invited you all to meet me here is this is the site of the pub called Windsor Castle that in 1981, during the Brixton Riots, was razed to the ground. Wow. Yeah.
There was this morning a strange silence as residents tried to comprehend what had happened. Only last night, the Windsor Castle had been serving drinks. Now it's completely devastated, as if it had been blown up by a bomb.
This is one of the key sites where the action unfolded, and there was so much damage done during the riot. There were 61 private vehicles burned, 56 police vehicles burned out, over 30 buildings razed to the ground. So Brixton really went up in flames.
Today brought back a lot of memories for me. The sad and depressing situation that was happening with people my age group.
I do A-level history and I'm doing Britain as a topic, and the fact that I don't know about this is pretty shocking.
It's 1983 and Janice is back from work.
What are you watching?
No problem.
Oh, wow.
No, don't open your eyes yet. Hold on.
Channel 4 had launched the previous year, and part of its remit was to produce programmes that truly represented minorities in Britain. The following year, No Problem hit the small screen, the first homegrown all-black sitcom.
It is him.
It is.
It was created by the cast, which included Lovers rock star Janet Kay. Janet's on her way to the house with a key piece of 80s technology.
Who's that?
Oh, you're all right. Guys, this is Janet Kay.
Hello. Hello.
Oh, the beads. Janet, there you are, look. Oh.
No way!
Oh, my God. Oh, my God.
It's like musical chairs.
It's a VCR. I said it's a VCR.
Wait, hold on.
I said it's a VCR.
Oh.
It's a VHS. Wicked, man.
See, in my house, I had a VCR. And when whenever a black person came on TV, I'd be like, everybody! So I'd have it half stuck in there. And then as soon as someone came on TV, in it went and record, and it would always be in the right place.
Use your head, woman!
Who are you calling woman?
I'm calling the shopping bag woman.
When our programme came out on Channel 4, as one of the first programmes to come out on the channel, it was such a new thing for them, having this group of black kids on this show, that nobody wanted to put their money in to advertise.
Oh, wow.
So when the commercial break came, you saw the clock.
Really?
Yes.
No.
You saw the clock. Because as far as they were concerned, nobody's watching this.
Oh, my God.
And it wasn't until a little while afterwards, Biwi, which was a black airline, they did an ad, they put an ad in that space, but it didn't fill the whole space. You still saw the clock. What's really funny is that the people that come up to us now and then, you know, saying that how much they enjoy the show, it's not just black people.
No, exactly.
It's Indian people, it's all our peers, all the people that we went to school with, they were all watching it.
That's right. For us, I think it was hearing the accents and the, you know, a little kiss teeth, a little this.
It felt familiar, it felt real, you know.
I'm looking at you in there and looking at you now, and brilliant. No, this is no lie. Amazing.
Oh, really?
Absolutely, yeah.
Like, me and Breanne are always saying, like, all of our family parties, like, every party we go to, towards the end, they'll have all of that Lovers Rock songs. And your song will always come on. And, in fact, me and my dad were walking to go get food yesterday, and Silly Games was on in the car as we were walking past. So, you're like a living legend.
I've been wanting you for so long, it's a shame. Oh, baby, every time I hear your name. Oh, the pain.
Oh, the pain. Boy, how it hurts me inside.
We met Janet Kay, which was absolutely amazing because she's pretty much like a living legend. And the fact that she was on Top of the Pops in a time when you didn't really even see black people on television, let alone a black woman, was just amazing. It's an honour to meet her as well. Just absolutely, yeah, it's been a great day.
In the mid-80s, more riots flared up in Britain's cities. Brixton had another one in 1985. But in the general election 2 years later, and almost 40 years since the Windrush docked, black Britons finally gained a voice in Parliament.
There'll be a sizable lineup of new faces in the Commons. 3 black MPs from London, all Labour, Bernie Grant in Tottenham, Diana Abbott in Hackney North and Paul Boateng in Brent South.
I've come to meet David Lammy MP to learn all about this historic moment.
Do you remember that as a moment? Was that an important time for you?
It was huge. I mean, I remember being in my sort of mid to late teens in Tottenham on that night, not really imagining that they would be elected, genuinely elected. It was amazing that they were standing. And it was still a time in those days where when you saw a black person on TV, you sort of cheered and shouted and everyone gathered round. And one by one, over the course of that general election night, we saw these sort of amazing, resonant figures bounce onto the political stage. I mean, Paul Boateng gave an amazing speech.
We go now as tribunes, socialist tribunes of all the people, black and white in Brent South.
Coming out of the riots, I think we felt quite isolated. So these figures on the national stage was a huge, huge breakthrough moment.
It's 1989, and Britain's club scene is reflecting the confidence of multicultural Britain. DJs, producers and musicians were creating a new sound, produced by homegrown black talent. Tiana and Breanne have invited their friends to a club in Brixton to enjoy a party in true 89 style. The music of the moment came from soul to soul. Headed by London-born DJ and producer Jazzie B, they created legendary club nights and hits that would go on to sell millions around the world. In 1989, their single Back to Life spent 4 weeks at #1, selling over 200,000 records.
Hi. I'm here to wreck your party. Is that okay? Yeah. Is that okay?
Yeah.
I love your dress sense, very 80s. I love the hairstyle.
Thanks.
And that was really important for us as young people. I guess the same for you nowadays. We wanted to create our own style. So we came up with an idea called the funky dreads. We took a little bit from here and a little bit from there to create our own ideology, which was a happy face, a thumping bass, which was always about the sound system, for a loving race. Our idea was about being inclusive, so that everybody was a part of all the dancing, the clothes that we wore, the attitude that we carried. That was all part and parcel. And I guess we would have been around about the ages of sort of 18, 19, coming into our 20s, which is why it was really important for us to have our own look. I'm an English geezer, and in Britain and Europe, we were coming through at a really interesting time in the late 80s, because things were changing. The wall in Germany was coming down. People's attitudes were really changing. And I guess we were on the cusp. So I guess in a kind of weird way, without even thinking about it, we took all, even certain negative things, wrapped them up nicely in a great parcel. And this was against the backdrop of things like the Deptford fire, right? Us getting stopped every day. I mean, it was literally an occupational hazard, which is quite interesting now I reflect, that all of the things that happened to us, that was what was going on in the atmosphere, as it were. And somehow we still got through.
And meeting people like you, and Janet Kay, like amazing people, like pioneers for music and things that uplifted so many people during a time when like it seemed like the whole world was against you. It's just amazing, and I think it really has helped me. I'm going to take a lot away from this.
Let's all just get along, you feel me?
Yeah. Well, thank you so much.
Oh, my
it was
God,
lovely
blessings.
meeting you.
And I'm coming down your way to eat what we're going to have.
Fish and chips.
Nah, what's about pie and mash?
Oh, God, no. No, definitely not. A lot of the things Jazzie B and I talked about really resonated with me, and speaking to him also made me realise while being here in Brixton and experiencing all of this, I've found a piece of myself I didn't realise I was missing.
The Irwins are stepping into 1992, and once more they're about to discover how the new decade has transformed their Brixton home.
Oh, wow. Whoa.
Nearly 45 years since the Windrush, and there's very little Caribbean influence left in the Irwins' 90s house.
This is a nice colour.
And look, all the doilies and all of that stuff has gone, so it just makes everything feel a lot clearer.
We've lost our Caribbean.
Our wallpaper.
Oh, we've got a new tabletop.
Oh, look, we've got new white goods, so we now have a dishwasher. All to help mother. Oh, hard dough bread.
Look, Dad, nourishment.
Back in the 60s, only a few specialised shops and stalls stocked Caribbean ingredients and flavours. But by the 1990s, Britain's shops and supermarkets were selling food that catered to multicultural tastes and tapped into the growing power of the black pound.
Our mothers used to have to make up the seasoning. We could just buy it. Saves time.
The Irwins have invited their family over tonight, and it's Tiana's job to get to grips with the new jerk chicken mix.
Use my hands. Yeah. You sure? I'm positive. Go on, get into it, love. Need it, go on.
And Weininger's in charge of drinks.
Oh, hello.
The guests have arrived, and they've come to watch one of the biggest TV hits of that year, Gladiators. First seen on British TV in 1992, it immediately became a huge hit, with over 11 million tuning in for the final. The Gladiators and their contenders reflected modern Britain.
Better than wrestling.
Better than Hulk Hogan?
Yeah, Shadow is.
What do you like about Shadow?
Oh, he's a man. He's a real man.
And for the Irwins, it's even more special. Taking part is someone they all know very well.
Weininger Irwin from London.
Oh, wow. Wow, 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 wow.
Whatever endeavour I take, I always take it with a positive instead of a negative, so I'm very, very confident right now.
Weininger was 29 and hadn't even met Janice when he beat all the contenders and made it through to the Gladiators final.
3, 2, 1, go! So here it is.
Go, Wine, go!
Go! Here comes Kim.
Ready 10-foot across.
Go, Wine!
You can see it. He's gone up to the travelator. He's out.
Watch out, watch out, watch out. All that, yeah.
Oh, his father proudly applauding him in the audience.
No more wine, you know? Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you. No, here's Mum. Here's your time, Mum.
You look like finish.
Mum looked like she did it.
Of course I did it.
You know, watching the Gladiators, that's a high. When I won, it's like the whole room just erupted. So it brought back good memories. And for me, just sitting down there watching it felt almost as good.
I know he's won, but I see you still have that sort of adrenaline when he wins. You're like, yeah, even though you knew what the outcome was going to be.
Ready or not, here I come. You can't hide. Gonna find.
It's 1996, and a year that would go down in history for Brixton. Decades after the first Windrush arrivals made Brixton their home, it has become a go-to destination for visiting black celebrities. From Jesse Jackson to Muhammad Ali. In 1996, Nelson Mandela made an historic visit to Britain. Freed from prison and now president of South Africa, he made, amongst other appointments, a personal request to visit Brixton, recognising it as a place of struggle.
10,000 people crammed the streets to see him. It's been a wildly successful state visit, but these were surely the most remarkable scenes of all. Everyone we met had the same reaction.
Second coming, like seeing God.
He's a wonderful example for our black people especially.
Well, you've seen every colour here today and it was fine.
It is literally the fulfillment of a dream that I've been able to visit this place. I want to assure you that I love each and every one of you here without exception.
When the crowd say ball, selector. Wine. When the crowd say ball, selector.
It's 1999, the last year of the Irwins' time-travelling experience. To celebrate, they're off to join an enormous party, the Notting Hill Carnival. What started as a community response to challenge racism had grown into one of Europe's biggest street parties. And 1999 was one of the biggest yet.
We're going to jump and wave.
Emma and I have come down to meet the Irwins at the carnival.
Let's go! 1, get ready to jump. 2, get ready to wave. 1, 2.
Welcome to Carnival 1999.
OK, so that was the 35th Notting Hill Carnival. 1 million people came. You look amazing. You look very 1999.
So how's the experience been overall?
Wow. It's been an eye-opener. I don't know from the children's point of view what they think.
Learning so much about our history and actually getting to live it means that it's, you know, it's even more personal, I think, now to us.
What was one of the most significant experiences that you have from the whole thing?
Do you know what? It's probably the first one when we went down to the bunkers, because I hate being underground and stuff like that. So it just makes me think how people must have felt.
I love the bus conductor experience. For me, it was pretty significant for the fact that my dad was a bus conductor, and then boom, here I am landing a role as a bus conductor.
And what about the food? I mean, you were doing most of the cooking, weren't you? Were they grateful?
For them, it was a horrific thought, eating corned beef. For us, it was normal.
Tell me, guys, what about the effect it's had on the family? What's the experiment taught you about how you relate to each other?
It's given us the opportunity to just become closer as a family, so it has really helped, I think. And I learned that Tiana can actually cook a little bit.
Well, that's done then. The experiment is over. We're at the carnival. We should go and party like it's 1999, because it is.
Why not?
I don't dance with you guys! Probably learned not to complain so much about everything, because people have been through worse. And know your history, and that's something I feel like everyone should do. You've got to know where you came from so you can appreciate where you are.
The thing that I think most often about people my age during that time is about how strong they were. To endure the racism, the discrimination, it must have been so, so difficult.
Because they went through all of that, today my life is much easier, so I thank them.
I mean, even as I'm speaking to you now, I'm kind of getting goose pimples, but just having my children experience what I experienced in the 70s and them just taking part of this, I'm jumping up and down. I'm just elated.
I think the best bit was when I caught the ball in the park with Clive Lloyd, because I can't catch.
I came into this expecting to go on a bit of a nostalgic trip, and what it has actually done is reminded me how the years here for West Indians, as much as we've had great times and we've forged our way through, it's been latticed with injustices all the way, simply due to the colour of our skin. We are so much stronger than we realise, and these guys that were the pioneers has just proven to me again that we are strong and you can succeed. If you put your mind to it, you can succeed whatever it is you want to do.
Something inside so strong. I know that I can make it, though you're doing me wrong, so wrong. You thought that my pride was gone. Oh no, something inside so strong. Oh, something inside so strong.